Whew. What a few weeks. Welcome to 2023 Philly Marathon sub 3 hour recap. Alright guys, yeah, so as you guys saw in the intro, this is my sub 3 hour marathon recap at Philly. This is 2 weeks after the race. Been a little preoccupied, but regardless, I thought I'd show you guys my thoughts and everything that went through the whole race weekend leading up to race day, and everything that went through to finalize a small series that I tried to do in my YouTube channel. So yeah, let's get into it. I will try and not cut out a lot, just because I want it to be as raw as it could possibly be. So I have everything set up here, everything that I want to talk about, small pointers of how the race really went, and warm up, and that feeling of finally breaking that sub 3 after 2 attempts. So let's get into it, and let's start from the beginning. So we'll start off with the race week. So Monday started off, I knew it was already tapering down, so we were hitting about like 4 miles a day, maybe 3 miles a day as well. So Monday decided to just take everything as easy as possible. Was eating some good food as well, trying to carve up not a ton, but just trying to make sure that I am properly fueled, and trying to get more than anything mentally prepared for race day. So throughout the whole week, Thursday came, and Thursday was a special day because two of my good friends, Amy and Danny, came from California all the way down to to support me. Funny story with them, I just recently met them only once this past year in the summer, which was August, and it was due to a mutual friend. It was Daniel, when he ran his 100-mile race at Leadville. That's where we all kind of connected, and it honestly felt like we known each other longer than ever, and we connected very well with them. They just recently got married, so congratulations to them as well. And they were like, hey, listen, we want to come out for your race and support, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. So I went to pick them up Thursday afternoon. Before that Thursday, I did have a small easy run. I did 3 miles, I believe. No, it was actually 2 miles. 2-mile easy run early AM, and then in the afternoon I went to pick them up at LaGuardia Airport. It was like around 4:35 p.m. I believe I went to pick them up. Alright, so Amy and Danny just arrived here at the airport at LaGuardia, so we're gonna go pick them up right now. Man, New York's weather be on some rare type of, I don't know, man. Legit, today's like almost 70 degrees. It is nice, beautiful weather, so hopefully it's kind of like this for race day, maybe a little bit lower, hoping for. And then Friday morning, me and Danny woke up really early. I went out for a 3-mile easy shakeout run. He's training for a marathon as well in Austin, so he had a little longer run. He's on his prep, so I took him out to the road that I typically take out for my runs. He went along with me. The run went, and then I did my 3 miles easy. Came back home, showered up, got all my stuff ready and set up, because that Friday morning, early morning, we headed out to Philly. So we headed out around 11 a.m. We got to Philly around 1:30 p.m. I believe. It wasn't too much of a long drive, and traffic wasn't as bad, which was great. So Friday afternoon, we got to the expo. I picked up my bib, just hanged around a little bit so the race scores even more. Went around, going to the expos, honestly, it's always a good feeling. You always can see all the runners, everyone's there, emotions are high, energy is high, and we're able to see, I think the Rocky was there, Rocky, little statue of him was there, which is funny. But yeah, did my little signature thing, and yeah, we just walked around the expo for, a good time, and after that, we just went back. After the expo, I was already carving up, so we went to Chipotle. We got Chipotle. I believe I got a burrito with my 3 scoops of rice, beans, and carne asada, which is my always to go to. We did a small park, which is amazing. We vibed, just talked about life, and then after that, we got to the Airbnb around 4 p.m. We settled down. I believe I took like an hour, 2-hour nap, I believe, because I was really tired. So I took that nap. And then after that, I still wanted to carve up, because that was my carb loading days. So there was no other resource. There was really nothing else to eat around that I didn't feel comfortable with. So what I did was, there was a Chipotle as well, like 30 minutes out. I mean, not 30 minutes out, like 10, 15 minutes out from the Airbnb. So first we went to Sprouts just to get some good foods, and then there was the Chipotle was next to it. Got another Chipotle bowl this time, just to keep filling up. I got a lot of rice, beans, and carne asada again. Yeah, that was basically Friday day. Saturday morning was when my parents came and my brother as well to the Airbnb. They got there early in the morning, and then after that I went for my last shakeout run, which was a 2-mile easy run around the neighborhood. It was pretty cool exploring around, you know, different cities, how it is. And then after that, we just went downtown to the start race, because I believe Saturday the half marathon went on in the 8K as well for Philly. So I didn't get to see them because they did early in the morning, but we got there around 1 p.m., 2 p.m. I believe, to like the rocket steps and where the start of the race was going to be. It was pretty chilly that morning, so I was kind of skeptical. I was kind of nervous, like, oh my god, like hopefully it's not like this on race day, which is super windy. So it wasn't, thankfully. So we got to the rocket steps. Good time. It's a good time. I was very nervous during that time too, so I was just trying to dial in. And then yeah, after that, Saturday, then after that we just went back home, went back to the Airbnb, and then I had my last meal. We watched a lot of movies. The last meal that I did have was my mom made some pasta, chicken, and some salad, and that honestly has been one of my favorite things to eat, to carb load, just because it doesn't affect my stomach as much and it doesn't make me bloated. It keeps me right fueled, and it keeps my stomach nice, easy, and not, you know, nothing crazy. So, and also Saturday night, I did set all my stuff up already, so I'll put the video now of that Saturday night. So here it goes. What's going on, guys? So I haven't been able to record as much just because I've been just trying to get mentally prepared. I've been eating a lot as well, so I am pretty filled up. But yesterday we got to Philadelphia. We went to the expo, picked up our bib, picked up everything that we need to pick up for race day. And basically yesterday we were just chilling, relaxing, getting the mind straight, eating a lot as well, like I mentioned. And today, this morning, went up for a 2-mile shakeout run. I'll put the splits here. Felt pretty cool. Legs felt nice and smooth and light. And right now I'm just basically setting up everything that I will need for tomorrow's race day. So I'll show you guys exactly what everything, the whole setup. So give me a moment. We have the singlet, which has already put the bib on if you want to track me, or if you, I don't think you can track me, but yeah. Got my gel set up for tomorrow. Got these Saucony Northern Pros already set up. Love these, clean, ready to go. My shorts, I love these shorts because they have the nice little pocket. I've been having this for like a year and a half, but you can tell here. But it has pockets here, so I'm able to put my stuff there. Got my gloves. Got elbow sleeves or hand sleeves, just because it's gonna be pretty chilly. So these are cool. Got these nice socks at the expo. It says New York in the back. Pretty cool. But it's the whole setup for tomorrow. So we're ready to go. We are dialed in. And most importantly, we're dialed in, like I said, and I'm happy we're having a film set up for you guys. So like that, maybe in a week or 2 weeks, I'll be able to show you guys the whole film of the whole process. So thank you guys for keeping up, and thank you guys for watching. Let's go rip this up 3 tomorrow. I am ready. Si se puede. Let's go. So as you saw in the previous video, basically had already set up everything, not just for the Instagram photo, but basically just to make sure I had, you know, everything set up, and you know, I don't forget anything the next day. So as you guys can see, I had my singlet, my shoes, gloves, socks, basically everything, all my gels set up. I already had all my gels set up. I believe I had 6 gels, so I had 1 gel before race day and 6 and 5 gels throughout the race. So 6 in total. I can't stand to see another gel as of today, just because I'm letting my stomach just forget about it in my mind. And yeah, I went to sleep around 9 p.m. that day, just because I really wanted to get a good 7, almost 8 hours of sleep. So went to sleep around 9 p.m. and yeah, just after that, so race day came up. I woke up around 4 a.m. so you know, that was the time I normally wake up for all my runs. Use the restroom to do number 2, of course, and then after that, preparing my breakfast, or what I normally have been eating throughout all my long runs in training. It's always important to test out all that. So I had a sourdough with jelly and honey and 2 scoops of and then I mixed my fueling bottle, which was 2 scoops of electrolytes, which I'm currently using is Switchback from my coach Jeremy. and then 1 scoop of Go One More from BPN, which has carbohydrates as well in it. So use that, ate my breakfast, drank my fuel, and then another thing with the gels, just make sure you also, with your gels, don't just change up the flavors, because there's a bunch of flavors out there, there's different gels. Make sure that the gel that you're using through your training, that's the way you use for race day. Don't try to change up the flavor, because you never know how it's going to taste. For me, it was the lemon lime goo. That's the one that sit well with my stomach, that I knew wasn't going to affect me throughout the race or even before the race. So always remember that. Always make sure that you have the right, like you already tested out everything in your training, so race day comes, you're not feeling that. We drove to the Star Village, and then throughout the car ride as well, it was, you know, finishing up that water bottle that I had mixed the 2 scoops of electrolytes and the Go One More. I arrived around the Star Village around 5:30. Race started around 7. I don't like getting there late. I like being one of the few people that comes early, just because I just don't want to get nervous, and I don't want to, like, you know, frighten out, and my anxiety goes all over the place. So got there super early. Then it was very chilly that morning, so got to Star Village. But the great thing in the Star Village, they did have like a warm tent. It was like very big, so everybody was basically in there. I went there about for 30 minutes, honestly, just to cool off a little, so I'm not really cold and I'm not stiff. And after that, left around 6 a.m. and then I went to my corral, which was the purple one, maroon, I believe. And I did my my warm-up. I believe I did a half-a-mile warm-up, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, I did a half-mile warm-up. And then, because I already had drank my water fuel, I had to pee really bad. And it was around 6:30ish. So unfortunately, like I said, because I did have to pee really bad, I've never been part of like a big race of like 18,000-20,000 people. I didn't realize that the porta potties the lines get big, they get humongous. So I went to the porta potty line, and it was super long. It was very long. And I honestly thought that maybe because the race was about to start, you know, in about 30 minutes, people were just gonna go fast, or, you know, basically in and out. It was gonna be like a 10-15 minute waiting period, and I'll be able to have time to go to my starting corral. It didn't happen. I really needed to be really bad, and I didn't want to like just go to the start and then, you know, break off to the porta potty and pee there and then go back to the race, which again, I knew it was gonna cost me some time. So I was like, I'm not taking that chance. So I did what I had to do. And I just saw a bunch of guys as well behind the porta potties, like they were just like peeing behind it. So I'm not saying I did it, but you know what I'm saying, I had to let it rip it somewhere. Because it was already almost like 6:48ish, and I knew that they were going to be very close with closing the corral of my gate. So I was like, all right, I need to go fast. So took one for the team. There's no rules at race day, so you just gotta do what you gotta do, baby. It helped me a lot though, so like that I didn't have to pee throughout the race. So I got to the start line, super nervous. I took off, like I had a sweater, and I had my sweats as well. Took it off, left it to the side of the little thing, of the little rail thing. I think they were donating that clothes, so it was nice. Left it there. I tied my shoes, untied them, tied them again, just to feel that extra confidence. But again, I felt super comfortable, super nervous, and so that was that. So then, you know, I was at the start of the line. I saw the sub 3 hour group, but I kind of just was like, I'm always the person that I don't like being in the middle of the whole pack of the whole race. I'm the person that I like sticking to the sides. Like I like being the person, because if you're in the middle, you're stuck with everybody. People are pushing you around, trying to move around. So I just like sticking to the side and just letting people do what they gotta do. I'm gonna stick to and do my own thing, right? So that was that. And then I just remember when me and my coach spoke about a day earlier, which was how we're gonna break down the race. So we broke it down into 4 sections. This race we broke it down into 4 sections. So section 1 was from mile 1 to mile 7. We were gonna go around a 6:45 to a 6:52 mile per pace. Just be super conservative, maintain my energy, don't blow out, which is what I did at Pittsburgh. I believe at Pittsburgh, my mile 1 was like a 6:24, but this one was super different. My split was actually a 7:03, so I took a super conservative. I knew that going a mile 1 at 7:03 or even 7:10 wasn't going to cost me the race, so decided to take my energy. I saw the 3 hour group just flew by me, and I just did my own race. Honestly, I knew that I will eventually catch up to them, you know, throughout the race. and I believe they were almost 2 blocks ahead of me. So it is what it is. But again, I didn't really care. I just stuck to my own race, stuck to my own plan, stuck to my strategy, what my coach had, you know, come up with. So I'll show another display of mile 1 to 7. And then around mile 5, I saw Danny and Amy, which was always a great boost. They were cheering me on. No, lying. First time I saw them was actually mile 2. And then mile 5 was the second time I saw them. They were cheering me on. Always great energy. So it's always good to always have that support next to you, because, you know, it always gives you that boost. So I saw them around that. And then section 2 was from mile 7 to mile 13. So in this section was where we kind of just kept it even more conservative, just because that's where most of the hills were going to be. That's where we're going to the park. So around mile 7 going into mile 8 was the first big kind of hill that, you know, we kind of encountered in the race. But that's where I saw my parents and brother, so it kind of made the hills easier to forget and easier to do. And then yeah, this is where this section 2 is where, you know, most of the hills were at, because we were in the park. And I remember this where I saw a lot of people just like blow up. Like, I guess they were trying to stick to the 3-hour group, and because they were trying to stick to the 3-hour group, and they were, you know, they were trying to rush in those hills, I guess they just blew up, and it caused them to race down the line, which I saw a lot of people do. So a lot of people were passing me too in those hills. Again, I was going conservative. Like I said, I wasn't going to blow up my quads, because I know I needed it for the rest of the race, like later down the race. So I just took it easy. A lot of people were passing me by, but I knew it was too early in the race to even go fast, or to even just use all my energy resources. So decided to do that. Decided to stay conservative, reserve my energy. And yeah, I think I was already like at my second gel, because I drank in my second gel at mile 12, and boom, we got to that halfway point. So that was, we were at the, so yeah, I believe at the halfway point my split was 1:30.03. Again, I knew that was over the time of trying, you know, break the sub 3, but I wasn't worried, because I knew that I still had so much energy left in in the tank. So I just knew that this was still like kind of the same since the warm-up, right? I heard from this coach, if you guys follow JD Cunningham, follow him on Instagram, so a few videos, he's like, if those first 18 miles are not boring, you're doing it wrong. So I knew they were boring miles. I wasn't gassed out as much, so I knew I had a lot of energy tanked. And what I was content about was because almost by like mile 13 going to 14, like that was like kind of like the last big mile hill, and I knew after that was home stretch all flat. So that's why I was just kind of content that I still had that much energy left. So mile 13 as well, I saw my friends Danny and Amy once again. So they were always there just supporting, so always thankful for them, and my parents once again. I'll be forever grateful for them. So I always appreciated that. And then from mile 13 to 22, that was section 3, and then mile 13 to 20 actually was kind of the section where I just knew that I needed to lock in, and I just needed to shut off my brain, like, because it was basically 13 to 20, and then after 20 was a turnaround. So I knew from 13 to 20, like, there was kind of like no people. It was just kind of all the runners. So I knew this was kind of like the hard part of the course, and I knew I needed to shut off my brain, like just take it 1 mile at a time, just hit my splits, 650, 650, 645, just hit those splits and just shut off my brain. So from 13 to 20, just shut off my brain entirely. And then mile 20 came, and that's where I knew that if I made it there with energy, I was gonna break that sub 3. So mile 20 actually, so I had my water bottle as well, and I had, you know, ran out of electrolytes. And I remember I told my friend Danny at mile 13, I'm like, hey, mile 20, please meet me with, you know, a water bottle with electrolytes, which, you know, we had already filled up the night before. And he's like, I got you. So mile 20 came, I didn't see them, so I was like, shoot, they probably missed me, because, you know, there was traffic and things like that. So I wasn't upset about it. I was like, it is what it is. I'm gonna continue my race. But then on a turnaround, so once you do 20, it's like a nice U-turn you do and go back straight. So it's a home stretch, and then going back, I saw them, and I remember Amy just like calling out my name, and she literally ran in the middle of the race to hand me off the water bottle. And I felt bad because I know the runners were coming in, and they were like, oh, what the fudge. And then, but she pulled it off. She pulled the clutch. So grabbed that, took 2-3 sips of that, and threw it off, and that just gave me that energy, those electrolytes to not cramp up, because the weather did start getting warm going into the race, so it was like already like 9 o'clock already. So it was already warm, and I was already super sweaty. I'm a sweaty guy, guys. Like, I'm a sweaty motherfucker. So it was good. She came in clutch, drank that, then, you know, went on about my day. I believe as well, mile 20 is where I already started seeing the sub 3 hour group, and I already had actually catched up to them. So I knew that I was in pace, I was on the right track, and I stuck with them for about 3 miles with the 3 hour group. They were going about a 650-ish pace, which is good, but I was looking at the time from the race, and I knew that if we went around this pace, we weren't gonna break sub 3. Like, we were probably gonna just be around the 301 or 302. So I knew that we weren't gonna break it if I stuck with them. So I decided to take a chance. At mile 23, I decided to break away from the pack and just go a little faster. So mile 23 and 24, mile 23 I hit a 638 split, and mile 24 I hit a 644 split. So decided to break away, just going little by little bit. This was, you know, the race really started, because that's where everything started to hurt. My quads were, you know, were starting to cramp up, and they were starting to, you know, feel like two bricks just holding on to me. So I had to keep the pace, and I knew I had to hit those times a little faster, just if I wanted to break down the sub 3 hour. And yeah, so mile 25, 26, I believe is where I took off fully my hand sleeves and my gloves, threw them to the side. I didn't care who picked them up. It is what it is. Lost cause. I'm sorry, Philly, if I litter. I never litter. I hate littering. But that's the only time I was like, I need to throw these things to the side, because it was too hot and I didn't want to hold them, because like, it's more energy wasted, right? So the great thing is mile 24 and 25, like I said, is where the race started to really come. And this is where, you know, a lot of people are like, this is where you make or break it. And this is where the pain was there. You know, I felt that pain. I felt that, like, this sucks. Like, why am I doing this? And then that's where my really why came out. Right? That's why I feel like where your why matters the most, of why are you doing this race, or why are you doing this goal, or why are you starting this business. This is, I feel like, where everything starts. This is where your why is the most important. Your purpose means a lot more. And to me, it was trying to prove myself right, trying to prove my 10-year-old self that I'm tired of being the underdog. I'm tired of being that guy that people, you know, might not seem as something, but most importantly, tired of giving up on myself, giving up on who I am. So I just thought of myself, that 10-year-old bold face, and that basically, you know, pain went away, and I just pushed through. I just kept going. And I believe mile 25, I hit a 630 mile per pace. And the great thing is, you know, it's so true what they say. It's like, when you're in the race and you're going, and then you start passing people, right? Like David Goggins would say, you start taking souls. You pass another person, because those were all the people that just flew off at the start of the race or up the hills. And I'm like, it's not how you start, it's actually how you finish. So that's all I kept in my mind. I just kept passing another person, and just gave me more confidence, more of that, I got this, I'm gonna do this. So I just kept going, kept passing them. Mile 25, like I said, I hit a 637, and then I believe the last mile 26, I ran a 623 mile per pace. So just to show you that, hey, listen, I just pulled out everything that I had in me and just went for it. The one thing that I will say though, going into any kind of race, is you have to be aware that you're probably going to run more than the desired race that you're looking to get, right? So for example, this was a marathon, so it's 26.2 miles, but I ran 26.5 miles, so 26.50. So I already knew that going into my head, so that's why I kind of didn't let him affect me, that I knew I was going to run a little bit more than the 26.2. So once I hit 26.2 on my watch, I believe it was around 257-ish on my Garmin, but I still had 0.30 left of a mile to the finish line. And I remember when I hit that 6.22, I was like, shit, I know I have a little bit more left, but I didn't know I had that much left. And I just kept going, and my legs were just, they were just ready to give up. And I don't know if you've ever been at that point where you just kind of like, where's this finish line? Like, I need it now, and you just don't see it. You're just like, where is it? So me going there, I'm just like, I don't see the finish line. So in my mind, I was ready to give up, because I was like, I don't see this thing, and I can't keep going anymore. I don't think I could hold on to this pace anymore. So it seemed like it wasn't gonna end anytime soon. So I was kind of getting just disappointed. I was like, shit, I can't believe I'm not gonna hit this goal. But right as we made a little turn, so the way the finish line is like this, and then it goes like this, like a little turn, and then it's a straight home stretch. So I made a little turn, and then I saw the clock. I was like, yes. And you know, whenever you've been in the race and you see that clock, you're like, literally, you give it your all. Like, you put the last thing you have in the tank. And I just booked it, and poof, saw the thing, and I just ran it. And my time, my official chip time was a 2:59:02 marathon, but my Garmin was a 2:59:08 with the 26.50 miles. So again, the race went fantastic. I think one thing that helped me out with this was, most importantly, just having a strategy to the race. I think that helped me a lot. I don't think if I would have had a strategy, for me, it was, I would have just kind of played around with it, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna go 6:20 here, 6:20. It doesn't make sense, you know. But rather, having a strategy, it makes a lot of a difference. So that's one thing I'll recommend people, is have a strategy. Because if you have a strategy, stick to it. Because yeah, you come race day and you throw it out the window, now you're on unknown territory that you might not know if this is actually gonna work out. So have a strategy, keep going it. Just remember that it's not how you start the race, it's how you finish it. It might sound cliche, but it's so true, because at the end of the day, like, you could start at 6:20 mile per pace, but if you're not finishing at a 6:20 per pace, it's gonna be a long way. So it's better to end at a 6:20 mile per pace than to start off with it and then like at an 8 mile per pace at the last mile, which could cost you potentially your goal. So that was that for me. It was a very, very good, like, for me, they always say you never forget your first sub 3 hour marathon, and I think this, for me, I will never forget it. It was such a moment of just happiness. Like, those last 100 meters left of the race, when you see the clock and you know that you can hit your goal, it's just, all those memories start coming back up of your training, of the early morning runs, the late runs, the hard track sessions, the hard long tempo runs. Like, everything just starts coming back, and you're like, it was all worth it. Like, the race day, it's just the victory lap, but what matters most is your training. It's the process that you go through it to get to that official goal. So the one thing that I will always say is, and what I learned this year most importantly, is learn. So you set a goal, you write a plan, you work on it, and you execute. It's simple as that. There's no excuses. Little quick drink, Body Armor, not sponsored, but I love their flavor. Like, there's no gimmicks around it. There's no easy course for it. It's really just head down, chip away, and make things happen. So for me, it was such a special moment, such a great way of ending off the year. So I appreciate everybody that stuck around to this small series. Is the next goal going to be something crazier? It is going to be something crazier. 2024 is going to be something unknown. We're gonna let it rip even more in 2024. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this small recap. I try to outline the most important things of what the race was, from, you know, the start of the week till, you know, race day. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I was able to give you guys a little brief insight of how the race went, of how everything went through. There were other things, again, like I said, with gels and you know, my nutrition. If you guys want to know that, I'll probably make a separate video of explaining how I was able to hit the sub 3, or explaining nutrition wise, you know, shoes, fueling properly, and just getting mentally prepared for this was probably the most important thing for me. So again, I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and give it a thumbs up, subscribe, follow him on Instagram, and if you guys have any questions on the sub 3, let me know. Shoot me a DM. I'll be more than happy to explain to you guys my training block. And again, a special thank you to my parents, my brother, Amy, Danny, my coach Jeremy, and everyone that supported me throughout this journey. I really appreciate you. Philadelphia, you've been a special place, heart to me. and can't wait to make more content and keep going on with this. So bless up, God bless everybody, and let's make it happen. Peace.